Do you know in the heart of Lagos, wealth doesn't knock, it whispers. One hawker dared to answer. She sold pepper soup in Oshodi. Today, she owns a mansion in Banana Island. But behind every shortcut is a shadow. This is the story of Mama Pati, the hawker who has mastered a demon. In Lagos, wealth can come overnight, but at what cost? One hawker made a deal with a demon and had 7 days to save her daughter's life. Have you ever stood in the middle of Oshodi market at 3 p.m.? You will know that Lagos is not for the faint-hearted. The sun is angry. The downfall drivers are shouting. The conductors are lying. The pickpockets are busy. And the market women, they are at war with your eardrums. And in the middle of all that chaos was Mama Pati. She was not tall, not short, not too fat, not too slim. Her wrapper was always tied to her waist, like she was about to join a wrestling match. But Mama Pati was a fighter, not the kind with fist, but the kind who sold pepper soup in nylon to survive in Lagos. She doesn't have a shop. She didn't have a store. She had a small wooden table, one shaky stool, and a black iron pot that had seen war, peace, and hunger. But her pepper soup, hot, spicy, unforgettable. The type that slaps your throat, burns your sins, and makes you cry and thank God at the same time. She had one daughter, Chisom, a 12-year-old girl with a mind sharper than razor blade, always helping her mother carry the pepper soup from Mushin to Oshodi. They had a system. Chisom would always shout,
"Your pepper soup here? Come and buy the soup that wakes the dead."
and Lagosians, tired and hungry, would laugh, but they would buy. That was how they survived. Every day, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., until one Thursday afternoon, everything changed. Mama Pati had just sold her last bowl of pepper soup. The sky was moody. Her legs were tired. She sat down under her umbrella and whispered to herself, "Oh God, how long will I continue like this?" She looked at her hands. They were hard, stained with charcoal, and smelling of dry fish. She had been doing this for 17 years, and still no savings, no home, no husband, no rest. As she looked around the noisy market, she sighed deeply. It's well. A tall man, clean black suit, red tie, his skin too smooth, his shoes too shiny, his smile too wide, and his eyes too empty. He walked straight to Mama Pati's stand. "Madam," he said, with a voice like honey mixed with thunder, "I have been watching you." Mama Pati frowned. "Here, watching me? How?" "You work hard," he continued. "You deserve more." He smiled, smiling like an angel that studied law. "What if I told you that in 7 days you can be a billionaire?" Mama Pati busted into laughter. I beg. "My brother, please leave road. I beg. I'm not ready for Yahoo boys today." But the man didn't laugh. He brought out a small black card, gold letters, written boldly, EKULU investment, Ekulu investment. He dropped it on her table, just beside the remaining dry fish bone. "Think about it. We give wealth, real wealth, but everything comes at a price." And just like that, he disappeared. No footsteps, no goodbye, nothing. Only the smell of cinnamon and mystery. That night, Mama Pati couldn't sleep. She tossed, she turned. She looked at the black card under her pillow. She remembered her landlord shouting that morning. She remembered Chisom asking for school shoes. She remembered her stomach rumbling when she gave her only food to a beggar. She stood up, lighted a candle, and said something she never said before. "Oh God, if this is a trap, please stop me." But the candle flickered. The next morning, she wore her best wrapper, tied her head, tied her head tie, strong, like war was coming. She carried her pot, and instead of going to Oshodi market, she went to the address on the black card. It was at Eruli Street, Victoria Island. Yes, from Mushin to VI, beside one compound that looked like heaven had a twin brother. High fence, tall gate, guards in white agbada, flowers smelling like money and blood. They welcomed her. No questions, no insults. She was taken to a room with only one chair. And then he came in. The same man, now wearing gold shoes, still smiling. Welcome, Madam Patty, he said. Are you ready for the deal? Mama Patty hesitated. What do I have to do? Just promise me your first fruit. She blinked. You mean my farm fruit? He smiled. No, your first child, your firstborn child. Mama Patty stood still, heart raising, mouth dry. Chisom, you mean my daughter Chisom? Yes, he said calmly. But don't worry, you won't lose her now. Not for many years. But the time is time. You will be too rich to feel the pain. She stood up, backed away. You are mad. You are mad. She hissed. Go punish you and your demon business. She turned to run out, but the door locked. The man changed. His smile stretched wider than a human should. His eyes turned red. His voice became like a thunder clapping inside a cave.
Once you enter the house of equity, you must drop something.
But Mama Patty, she wasn't just a pepper soup seller. She was the daughter of a Yan Abara, a powerful herbalist from Oyo, whom Lagos had forgotten. She quickly dipped her hand inside her bra, brought out a small calabash her mother gave her when she was 16. She broke it on the floor and shouted, Oba Orum Fumi Sile. The room shook, the light exploded, and the man screamed, vanishing into smoke. When she opened her eyes again, she was back in Oshodi, beside her pot, like nothing had happened. Only the black card remained, now turned to ashes. Mama Patty never told Chisom what happened, but that night, a man came to her stand, not wearing a suit this time, not carrying a card, but with a big envelope, a loan from anonymous source, interest-free, enough to start a restaurant, buy a house, send Chisom to school. Today, Mama Patty owns Patty's Palace, the biggest pepper soup lounge in Lekki. She is rich, she is famous, and every October 13th, she donates free meals to single mothers. When asked about her breakthrough, she smiles and says, God tests us, but not all that glitters is gold, and not all business is from heaven. So if one man ever approach you in the market wearing a suit too clean for the Lagos dust, talking about first fruit, run. And remember Mama Patty, say Lagos forget fast, but evil remembers everything. It had been 6 years since Mama Patty walked into that strange house in Victoria Island. 6 years since she smashed that calabash. 6 years since the demon in a red tie vanished like steam on hot stone. Today, she is not the struggling pepper soup hawker of Oshodi. Today, she is a chief Mrs. Patricia Onyekachi, CEO of Patty's Palace Pepper Soup Lounge and Resort, a billionaire in Buba and gold lace, with 6 chains on her neck, 2 wristwatches, and 1 PA that follows her like shadow. Her restaurant in Lekki has 3 floors, live band, air conditioning stronger than winter, waiters in agbada and bow tie. Even the jollof rice is served with small fireworks. Politicians come to eat her nkwobi. Actors come for catfish. Foreigners fly in just to test her secret spice. But even with all the money, all the fame, there was one rule she never broke. Never cook on October 13th Why? She would always say, that day I nearly lost my soul. But evil does not sleep, evil only waits. On the night of her 6th business anniversary, October 13th, he returned. It starts with a phone call, private number, 11:59 p.m.
Mama Patty,
The voice said,
have you forgotten your promise?
she froze. Who is this? But the line went dead. She shook her head, thought it was a prank, drank water, went back to bed. Then at exactly 12 a.m., the power in her mansion went off. Not just her room, the entire estate. She ran to her window, looked outside. Every house had light. Only hers was dark. And then she saw him standing by her gate, black suit, red tie, not a wrinkle on his clothes, not a single dust on his shoe. She screamed, but her security guard, Musa, was already at the gate, laughing, shaking hands with him. Madam, your visitor says he is your uncle from overseas. She ran down, told Musa to send him away immediately, but the man just smiled. You can't run forever, Patricia, he said. The contract was never broken, only postponed. That night, Mama Patty called her old friend, Iya Ibeji, the woman who used to sell herbs beside her in Oshodi, now a powerful prophetess. She came with her big Bible and 2 gallons of anointed oil. This man no be human. Iya Ibeji whispered, he is an ekulu, a market demon, collector of blood debts. But I broke the calabash. Mama Petty cried, I said no. I never agreed. Iya Ibeji looked at her slowly. But you didn't leave empty-handed either. My sister, that loan, that restaurant, that anonymous helper, Ikuku, Iwolo, the moment you use that money, you unknowingly sealed the deal. Mama Patty's hand began to shake. Chisom was now 18 years. First year in university, smart, beautiful, full of dreams. She remembered the demon's word, wealth in exchange for first fruits. But this time, Mama Patty was ready. She called her lawyer, her spiritual father, even one retired Babalawo from Ibadan, who now works as a security guard in Yaba. They formed a circle. They prayed, they fasted, and they waited. Because the demon said he would return at dawn. And dawn was 4 hours away. 4:04 a.m. thunderclapped, windows shook, mirrors cracked. The air became heavy like sorrow had waited. And then he walked in. No knocking, no doors opened. He just appeared. This time, no red tie. He wore a crown made of fire. His face was half man, half lion. His voice like a million drums beating inside a volcano.
Time is up, Patricia, he said.
But Mama Patty stepped forward, no fear in her eyes. She wore white lace, red coral beads, and on her neck, the same charm her mother gave her 22 years ago. You will not touch my daughter, she shouted. I reject every deal. I return the wealth. Take the restaurant. Take the cars. I don't want it again. The demon laughed.
You think it's that easy?
Then Chisom walked in, not scared. She was glowing, a small Bible in one hand and her mother's old head tie in the other. I covered myself in the blood of Jesus, she whispered. No curse shall pass from mother to daughter. She knelt, prayed, cried. Mama Patty held her. The circle closed. Everyone joined hands, and suddenly a blinding light filled the room. The demon screamed and disappeared. This time, forever. When dawn came, the light came back. Everything was normal. But one thing had changed. Mama Patty had finally learned the secret. Wealth from shortcut, she said, is death dressed in disguise. And that's why Every time you enter Pati's palace in Lekki, look up. You will see a golden sign on the wall. My wealth is clean. I paid no blood. Do you know what they say in old Lagos? When a demon tells you its real name, someone must die before sunrise. Mama Pati was about to learn that truth the hard way. 3 days after the demon vanished, things were quiet, too quiet. Chisom was back in school, normal, happy, giggling on video calls. The mansion was full of guests again. Business was booming. Customers were taking selfies inside her restaurant like it was a tourist attraction. But deep inside Mama Pati's spirit, something wasn't right. She started hearing whispers at night, in her closet, under her bed, in her soup pot, just one name repeating again and again. Awo Owele, Awo Owele, Awo Owele. She thought it was a dream until her chef, Junior, came to her one morning, shaking like a feather in harmattan. Madam, I hear am too. Inside the freezer, the goat head dey talk. It say, call me by my true name. That's when Mama Pati knew the demon was not gone. It was simply waiting to be acknowledged. So she did what few would dare. She left Lagos, took a night bus to Badagry. No PA, no security, just one rapper, one purse, and a mission. I must find the mad prophet of Mowe Market, the one who sees beyond the veil. They said he once lived among the spirits. They said he speaks to the sea and the sea answers. They said he helps people cancel spiritual debt for a price. The journey to Mowe was not easy. The air was thick. The street dogs groaned when they saw her. A baby screamed and called her winch for no reason. She arrived at the prophet's shrine at 1:11 a.m. There was no door, just a hole in the wall, and a goat tied beside it with a gold chain. Yes, gold. And the goat had red eyes, choked, arid tone. The moment she stepped inside, the goat spoke. Awa Wele welcomes you, daughter of the broken promise. Mama Pati collapsed. When she woke up, she was sitting in front of an old man, white bearded, blind in one eye, chewing kola nut. He spoke slowly. You say you want to know how to stop a kulu? Then you must call him by the name he buried. Mama Pati nodded. He dropped 3 pebbles in front of her, each one hotter than fire. Choose the one with your mother's voice, he said. Only the true child can hear it. She listened closely. One pebble hummed like wind. Another buzzed like a broken radio. But the third, it whispered, Pati Nwam, remember who you are. She picked it, and instantly the prophet screamed, Awowele, that is his name. He is not just a demon. He is the spiritual founder of Lagos trading, the demon of debt, the king of shortcut wealth. Ekulu is just a title, but Awowele is his covenant name, the one the ancestors buried. Now she knew. To defeat Awowele, she must return everything she built with demonic gain. The restaurant, the mansion, the lands, the investment, all must be stripped and burned. Or Chisom would die before the next full moon. That night, Mama Pati sat by the ocean. Her hands were shaking. She looked at a picture of her daughter. She whispered, Oh God, if I burn it all, will you still carry me? And the wind answered, a warm wind, a calm wind. She returned to Lagos the next morning and shook the whole city. She auctioned off her restaurant for 1 naira, gave her house to an orphanage, burned her brand logo in front of news cameras. People thought she had gone mad. But one night later, Chisom woke up with blood coming out of her nose. The demon had come to collect. But when it tried to enter her room, it couldn't because The door was painted with the pebbles. That small stone, the one with her mother's voice, Awo Ewele screamed, "You called my name. I came, no longer hide. But now you must face my army." Because now he is bringing back every person who ever made a deal with him. And they all coming for Mama Party. The war is no longer between just mother and demon. It's a war between generations of shortcuts and one woman's courage to break the circle. Lagos will never be the same again. There is a saying in Yoruba, you don't borrow the wind and forget to tie your roof, because when the wind comes back for its payment, it comes with thunder. And on the night of the red moon in Lagos, thunder came. Mama Party had thought it was over. She had returned everything, paid the price. But the demon, Awo Owele, had other plans. He wasn't just a spirit of one contract. He was the collector for an entire generation of broken, the ones who took shortcuts, the ones who sacrificed family for fame, the ones who bought glory with their souls, and then disappeared. That night, Mama Party saw them with her own eyes. They arrived at midnight. First, they rose to her house filled with smoke, black smoke. Then came the cars, Bentleys, Benz, Rolls Royce, even Okadas that floated 6 inches off the ground. And out of each one stepped a man or a woman dressed in old school, flamboyance, silk, gold chains, heavy perfumes, eyes that glowed red like coals. They were Lagos legends, once billionaires, now forgotten. Now Awole's army, they spoke in perfect unison. Party, the pebble may protect your child, but who protects your legacy? And just like that, her bank account vanished. CCTV cameras fled. Her name disappeared from the internet. Her past life deleted. But Mama Party had prepared. She stood at the gate in a white wrapper, barefoot, with 7 market women behind her, real ones. Mama Onome from Mushin, Ahaji, Titi, the pepper seller from Agege, Chioma, 1 naira only from Oshodi. Each one had something on their back: basket of peppers, smoked fish, kola nut, and burnt money. They began to chant, "We reject stolen salt. We reject fake seasoning. We reject Awole's appetite." Their voices filled the air. The smoke started to lift. Awole's soldiers hissed. One of them, a man with demons, a man with diamonds in his eyeballs, stepped forward. Awole's soldiers hissed. One of them, a man with diamonds in his eyeballs, stepped forward. "Your boldness is loud, Party, but boldness cannot pay blood debt." She answered, "My boldness has receipt. Where is yours?" Then she pulled out something from her bra, the original hawking tree, the same one she used back in Oshodi. It was cracked, worn, smelled like years of struggle. She dropped it on the ground. It split into 7 pieces. From the cracks came light, pure white light. Suddenly, the billionaires began to scream. They couldn't look at it, because real work, real sweat, real sacrifice, it burns demons. One by one, the spirit vanished. Their cars turned to ash. Their shoes melted into red sand. Their names floated into the sky and exploded into dust. Only Awowele remained. He stepped forward. He was no longer in his human form. His skin was scales. His fingers had knives. His smile had 10,000 regrets. "You broke the chain, Party. You burned my altar. But remember, in every market, there is a new hawker ready to take the shortcut." He vanished. And just like that, it was morning. Lagos woke up. The red moon was gone. Mama Party walked back into her compound. Chisom was waiting at the door, holding a plate of hot pepper soup. "Mommy, you are still my hero, even if we don't have the big house." And Mama Party smiled. "We are rich, baby. We are rich in truth." Do you know what they say in Old Oshodi? If the market blesses you, say thank you. But if the market warns you, you better run. And in Lagos, the market always remembers. 3 months after the battle of Awowele, everything had changed. The mansion was gone, the restaurant ashes, the account balance zero. But somehow, Mama Pati had never felt more alive. She moved back to the same Oshodi street where she started. Same corner, same old tray. People laughed. Billionaire wey no last. Madam Pepper Soup wan restart. Omo, they don reset her destiny. But she didn't answer. She just smiled and served her customers with real ingredients, no shortcut, no demons. One morning, a small girl approached her. Dusty feet, big eyes, skinny arms. She looked just like Patty 30 years ago. She whispered, "Auntie, dem say you sabi make soup wey chase away spirit." Patty paused, then handed her a free bowl. "My darling, if your heart is clean, your soup is honest, even spirit go pay you tip." The girl smiled, a real smile, and ran off. That day, Patty made only 2,800 naira, but it felt like a billion. Meanwhile, somewhere else in Lagos, inside a sleek office on the 21st floor of a Bananas Island skyscraper, a man wearing agbada and a Rolex held a meeting. He was tall, smooth talking, with the smile of a politician and the charm of a pastor. New followers, new influence. He even had an app teaching fast success. His name? Nobody knew. But on his business card was one single name, Awo Ewole International. Yes, the demon never dies. He just changes out, because in every generation, there will always be a new hawker, a new dreamer looking for a fast way out. But now, thanks to Mama Pati, there is a new story to warn them. Not all wealth is wealth. Not all success is success. And not every businessman in Lagos is human. So the next time anyone promises you overnight breakthrough, ask them these questions. Which market did you pay your dues in? Because the market, oh my dear, the market never forgets. Not all that glitter. What do you think is the lesson behind this story? Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please like, share, and comment. Subscribe to this channel. Now, the story behind this is, not all that glitters in Lagos is yours to keep. When you eat with spirit, your daughter pays the price. True wealth, your daughter or your children pays the price. True wealth carries no shadow. If you ever been tempted by shortcut success, comment "Awole will not catch me." Awole will not catch me, and share this story with someone chasing fast money. God bless you, and see you in our next video.